All right, so TLDR. Miami's going to flip yet another player, and it's going to flip from USC. It's a wide receiver. Now, people are not happy at USC about this, but for some, but and that I understand, but like the absolute comments are just so incoherent that they are trying to shit on Miami and what we've put out in the draft lately. And I laugh at that because Miami just put out 3 first round players off of a national title appearance in from last year with a roster that not gonna lie to you is not going to be even close to the best roster we put out in the next 10 fucking years. That's the scary thing you need to worry about. With what Miami's got going on in the offensive pipeline and defensively, we already know that's just set. Dude, this is not the end. This wasn't like a Cinderella run that was a fluke. It was a Miami's back on the scene statement being made. As long as Mario lets his coaching staff do their job, Miami's going to fucking dom. They're going to do what they got to do. So I got to ask this question, USC fans, where the fuck do you get off? Let's read this. The funniest part about USC discourse, my God, people still talk about Lincoln Riley like an idea instead of the results. At some point, offensive genius has to translate to something bigger. USC fans spent years acting like Lincoln Riley arriving meant the sport was over for everyone else. Since then, Miami's built a tougher roster. I mean, eons tougher. Oregon's built a tougher roster. Yeah, Oregon's a better team than you. Oregon whooped your ass this year again. Is that not a problem that Oregon's owning you? They're in your area. Ohio State got tougher. I don't think we even need to compare Ohio State to fucking USC. It's an insult to fucking Ohio State. Even Notre Dame modernized physically. The thing about Notre Dame is they got better nationally at recruiting. I'll give them that. But they also got better in the transfer portal as well. Meanwhile, USC still feels like a finesse 7v7 team wearing a blue blood costume. And the thing about USC that bothers me is not the fact that you're not getting the players that can match that physicality. It's not your recruiting, it's your coaching. So 2-3 years ago, when Ruben Bain came on the scene as a freshman, we knew Ruben Bain was special as a true freshman. I'm talking about number 44 Ruben Bain, not even number 4 Ruben Bain yet. We knew he was special when he came onto the scene in Miami as a true freshman. He was already heralded as a fucking beast. All right. And that was the second year of Mario's rebuild. And that Miami team was like already improved by like eons ahead of that 5-win disgrace of a program, disgrace of a team that to me embarrassed the program. We didn't make a bowl game that year, I don't believe, and I'm happy we didn't. That team didn't deserve to make a bowl game. I think that team was a joke. And we were pretty down and out as a fucking program. I mean, Florida State just won 10 games. Their rebirth seemed to be going in. They were heading into probably winning yet another 10-win season. They were looking at the national title contention with Jordan Travis. And I thought, we were pretty down and out as a program. Things have flipped pretty fucking drastically, obviously, haven't they, right? And, Miami... But you could tell in the second year of Mario, this program was headed in the right direction. Yes, there were some losses that were inexcusable, and I had my doubts about if Mario could be the headman of this fucking program for a good minute. There are some games that we shouldn't have lost. Hell, even this year, in the national title year, Mario has lost letdown games. Mario's problem was never the big games. You'll never see Miami outmatched in big games on primetime. Miami's problem is winning the small games and acting like they don't matter. And that's a mentality thing. And that's also like overthinking yourself through the weeks. I think something happened at the SMU loss to where Miami changed up their entire philosophy. And if they can keep on that for the time being, for like the rest of, for like Mario's tenure here or whatever, Miami will be fine, right? So diatribe aside of what I just said, Miami, I remember in that time, like it was down and out, but you could tell physically the team was different in the second year. Let me make this very clear about USC and why they disgust me. Mario didn't get gifted a generational quarterback till his, and I say generational loosely, right? Because I wouldn't put Cam Ward quite on Caleb Williams' level. I mean, if you put Caleb Williams on our team last year, we win the national title by 70 points. Like, Caleb would have tore that team apart. Caleb would have tore like every team in the playoffs apart blindfolded. Like, it would have been just devastation. Like, Carson Beck was giving some people some problems here, dude. We were winning with Carson Beck and no wide receiving core. So at the end of the day, I think we all know what's coming out. It's not going to be good for a lot of teams this year if, Darren Minta does what I think he'll do, right? But I'm not going to put Caleb, but let's just say a special talent at quarterback, right? We didn't get that till our third season under Mario. Man, Lincoln Riley comes in with it. You have all this talent. You have Jordan Addison. You have a Heisman duo, basically. And you do nothing, right? You do the same amount as we did in Mario's third year into this rebuild with Cam Ward. Nothing. We did nothing. We should have made the playoffs. We were well on track to making the playoffs, and we blew it to fucking sorry-ass, pathetic Syracuse. It will always be fuck Fran Brown up in this hood. Fuck that nigga. Fuck him. I do not like that motherfucker. Fuck him. I hope we play Syracuse again, and I hope we run the score up again. I don't want to ever play Syracuse and not humiliate them. It is that type of hatred for that fucking program, to the point where I hope that we just look like dicks every time we play them. Anyways, regardless of that, you did nothing. Second year, you regress. You regress as a team. You do nothing. Caleb Williams, 30-5, should get you to the playoffs, in my opinion. If Caleb Williams on a down season is giving you 30 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, that's a down year according to retards. That's a better year than Fernando Mendoza winning the fucking whole thing. Fernando Mendoza won a national title, and he wasn't even as good as Caleb Williams was in his down year. That should tell you the level of quarterbacking that I'm talking about right now, right? You had that and you did nothing. Fast forward to now. Let's go to last season. Let's look at your fucking schedule. So let's start. First game, Missouri State, obvious. Pretty easy win. Georgia Southern, pretty easy win. Purdue, they're terrible. They're probably just as good as fucking Georgia Southern. Oh, you shut these teams down. Maybe finally USC's gotten a defense. I mean, they haven't played nobody with tomato cans, but hey, and here's where problems start. You give 31 to Michigan State, a sorry-ass fucking offense. And then you lose to Illinois. So this idea that Miami plays in this weak-ass fucking ACC conference, motherfucker, I will be damned if we didn't just walk up and walk down Ohio State and punch them in the mouth on the fucking lines and own them on the lines. I mean, granted, the game was, in my opinion, closer than it needed to be in that game. Miami should probably win that game by more if we opened up the playbook a little more, but I understood why we did what we did. But it wasn't like we dominated Ohio State. That's not what I'm saying. We punched them in the face, and we said, we're not going to be bitched by you. We don't care what you've done. We don't care your logo. We're going to fight you. And I fucking love that. You guys got beat by Illinois in football. Not basketball, football. Okay. You beat Michigan, though, but is that really an accomplishment, to be honest with you? Okay. And then you get beat by Notre Dame. Man, can't relate to that. We actually beat Notre Dame. Nebraska. You barely beat Nebraska. Are we fucking for real here? You beat Northwestern. That's like picking on a fucking kid in a wheelchair. You barely beat Iowa. Iowa's ranked. I'll give you that, but mid. And then you get scorched by Oregon. Miami, if they were playing Oregon, so some miracle if Indiana lost that game on some bullshit to Oregon, Miami was going to smoke Oregon. Let's just be real. Their lines are going to get fucking mauled. They got mauled by Indiana. They're getting shut down by Texas Tech. Miami's going to maul them. You got whooped by this team. Not only beat UCLA, but that's not really anything special. UCLA is a team that's going to rebuild their entire program at this point, so okay. And then you lose the Alamo Bowl to fucking TCU in overtime in hilarious fashion. And why am I bringing all this up? Because I'll be damned if I'm going to hear from a USC fan about what you're putting out in the NFL about program shape right now when you are in no way on our level. And I'm hearing the excuses already. Well, Miami plays in this easy-ass conference. From what I can tell, you couldn't really beat Louisville or SMU. I'm pretty sure SMU would literally take you 4 quarters. SMU would take you 4 quarters. That's not a joke. California, Cal would take, you already know Cal's going to take you 4 quarters too. These are teams that can score in a very high volume. You don't have a defense, so that's the problem. Miami has this thing called physicality, a defense, a better coach, better coaching staff than you do. The only thing I can say is you have better offensive coaching. I would love Lincoln Riley as my offensive coordinator on this team. Shit. Miami would probably win the next 4 titles. Hell yeah. with Corey Hatherman, Lincoln Riley, and Mario Cristobal, with fucking our coaching staff, Jason Taylor, defensive line coach, Alex Mirabal, O-line coach. Dude, we're balling. Oh, wait, though. Lincoln Riley wants to be the man. Well, to be the man, you're not really showing it to me, bro. If we had Caleb Williams this year, we're winning a national title. That's all I need to tell you. If Caleb Williams is on our team, we win the national title. Caleb Williams on your team doesn't even get to the playoffs. You lose to Tulane. You lost to Tulane, nigga, in a big bowl game. Tulane! Let me repeat myself. You lost to Tulane. We beat the fuck out the team that bitch slapped Tulane. That's the difference. Hell, Darian Mensah upgraded from Tulane to Duke. I don't know how it's an upgrade, but he upgraded from Tulane to Duke to Miami. We're the team that you go from Tulane up to. You motherfuckers got beat by them. Get the fuck out my face with your bullshit. Where do you get the fuck off talking on us right now? Be mad at your fucking coaching staff. All this shit. Man, I remember back, again, I don't know if I told the story earlier in this video. I don't think I did, but Ruben Bain was projected as a fucking true freshman to be a first-round talent, and he has been. You want to know who else was? A few other guys from USC on that defensive line. I didn't see them getting drafted to that this year's draft. Yeah, where were those guys? Exactly my point. It's not the players you're recruiting. Because if you were to give this roster to Miami, give them a full off season of training camp, I guarantee Miami wins like 12 games with that fucking roster. They win games. We win big games. We don't lose to teams. We're not going to lose to Iowa. We're not going to. I mean, in a game of trench wars, we're not going to lose. You're getting your ass handed to you by Illinois. You lost to Illinois, dog. I can't relate to such things right now, brother. I mean, maybe I can. We lost to Louisville, but we didn't fucking let that tank our season. We lost to fucking Louisville. We did lose to SMU. I mean, we're half-assed injured in the SMU game. Not making too many excuses. We should have won that game regardless, right? But you want to know something? Miami adjusted their whole philosophy. And now you see the results. You had a chance to make a statement versus Oregon and get yourself back in the playoff race. You win that game, USC has the inside track to the playoffs. I guarantee you they might take our spot. I'm being real. I would consider them taking our spot. They might get the 10 spot. If they went out and beat Oregon, right, and do what they should have done, Miami's probably never a thing in terms of that spot, right? Things can change so quickly in the NCAA, right? But you once again proved you can't. If you never lose to Illinois, you probably make the playoffs. Think about those things. Think about that. You lost. Oh, no. With the Washington. I'm about to say Washington and scream, like, what the fuck? But let's see the games you lost, though. Let's see. Illinois, you lose that, you win that game. You're like, what, you're 10-2 at the end of the season? Win that game. Notre Dame, you had a chance to beat Notre Dame. You beat Notre Dame inside track. You didn't. You didn't beat Notre Dame. You have an inexcusable loss, but your big games you couldn't win. Mario wins the big ones. You don't. That's the difference between our programs. When the lights are bright, you get folded by Notre Dame. We punch them in the mouth. We don't fucking back off. If you were to play Ohio State, they beat you by fucking 30. We took them and we handled that game. Hell, Miami probably let them hang around too much in that game. But you see what I mean? We don't losing to TCU? You're out here losing to TCU? Can't relate. You let up 42 points from Oregon. 42, dude. I will be damned if that motherfucking team puts up more than 20 on us. Get the fuck out my face, bro. Get the fuck out my face. I don't want to hear it. You're a fucking team, a program that is underachieved for about 5 years straight now. And I'm sick and tired of the bullshit coming out of your mouths. I've been waiting for USC to get back to where they need to go, but Miami's back to where they need to be in terms of competing. All I ever asked was for Miami to be back in the national light, fighting for national titles. Winning them is the ultimate goal, obviously. But all I ever asked was for Mario to put us back in that spot. Mario's done that. And now we need to keep it there. And I believe that's going to happen. With this talent, with what the coaching staff has done, with the coaching staff at hand anyways, with what the mentality is in this program, Miami is in a state where they are locked the fuck in and competing for titles. There's no roster that is outmatching Miami anymore. There's not one roster at all, Texas included, that outclasses Miami's roster. Ohio State doesn't outclass them. Indiana's not going to outclass us. I mean, no one's outclassing us. Indiana's going to be back in the mix, but will they be the same? I don't know. I think Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten, truly. I think that they have the experience. They're going to have maybe better trenches, hopefully. The defense should be a concern a little bit, but they're going to reload. They're going to win the Big Ten, in my opinion. Indiana is going to be a top 15 team, at worst, top 15, and they're going to make noise, and they're going to be a threat, obviously, to make the playoffs. I don't think much changes with them. USC, I don't know what to tell you. You have the talent to easily be top 15 in this country and be a threat for the playoffs, and you yet have not shown anything. Mario's done more in 1 year than you've done in the last, 15, 16 years. I'm not even talking shit. That's a literal fact. You haven't really, your last big thing that you've done is Sam Darnold winning you the Rose Bowl, and that's about it. Miami, with a team that, again, wasn't expected to actually make too much damage in the playoffs. Let me rephrase that. With a team that didn't have the offensive firepower that we're going to be putting out for the next 10 years, I got to say, man, you guys better be very fucking worried. A lot of you. It's not going to stop. But with USC, I don't know why you're crying. You flipped a wide receiver. Of course you'd rather go to Miami. We're competing for titles. You're competing to win 9 games. Wake the fuck up.